Big up, everybody. Welcome back to TJ Warren TV. Welcome back to another match reaction. This time, Arsenal take all 3 points at home against our rivals from the lane, Tottenham Hotspur.
Yeah.
Fuck them. Let's just go ahead. Let's just go ahead and get this out of the way.
Sure.
Fuck Spurs.
Ooh.
Fuck their fans.
Ooh.
I don't give a shit. Whatever we need to do to get the 3 points, by hook or by crook, we get it done. And that's what we did. I was not impressed by any means
Right.
by our performance today. And we're going to get into that. But at the end of the day, you get, especially with the form that we've been on, we just needed the 3 points today. I didn't give a fuck about the performance.
Yep.
We need 3 points. We need 3 points today, and we got it. How you doing, Dal?
Oh, not bad. Not bad. It's 2:00 in the afternoon. Just got watching that horse shit. I mean, it wasn't the best, but it wasn't the worst. In my own opinion, I see AJ's like, oh, this is terrible. Acer's big up, says garbage performance. We have Godfrey. I don't know what to make of that performance, to be honest. Like I said backstage, we were kind of just pinging the ball in their box for whatever reason. Like no one has initiative just to like take a slice at one besides Trossard. You know, I don't know. Like I feel like we're going back to some Wenger years where it's like we were expected to score this perfect goal, right? Just knick-knack it, tiki-taka into the box, and you're putting it in 4 yards in front of the keeper's face or between his legs. And those goals are great, but that's not always going to happen, you know? And, you got to shoot outside the box, within the box. Just shoot the ball, right? Just, it'll parry off, it'll hit a defender and come to you, can hit the post. There's so many other things that can happen. But if you don't shoot, then you don't score. Or you don't get those other things that happen, like ricochets and so forth, like I just said. So I don't know what we're thinking in the final third. Some of it was fantastic today, the way we spread out the field, though. Some of the passing was good. Some of the passing was off. So I just, as long as we stick to Tottenham and get the 3 points at the end of the day, we did the double over in the season, TJ. So that's a good thing. So that's a, 1 box checked, you could say. But I'm still upset about United. I don't think Newcastle, and I don't think this is going to relieve that anger that's still with me from those 2 games, because that to me was the real Arsenal. Today was the real Arsenal, right? Impotent up front, scared, halfway decent in the back. I got to say, Gabriel and Saliba are not the players they were 2 seasons ago. I don't know where the communication's gone. Saliba doing things in the midfield. I don't know, man. I don't know really what I saw today, right?
Yeah. I saw a team desperate to get a result. That's what I saw. I didn't see any team with any sort of organization or any impetus on performance. I feel like it was all vibes. It was all wanting to go out there and just get the 3 points, to be honest with you. I mean, let's get into the players. I mean, I thought David Raya played very, very well. He had a few, he played out at the back horribly a couple of times. But on the ball, he was strong. Miles Lewis Skelly, I love this kid. He is so good on the ball in the final third. He lacks a little bit of pace, but what he lacks in pace, he makes up with ball control. He's just so good on the ball. I mean, our entire back line was good today, except for Saliba. I don't know what has happened to Saliba. Like, he's just completely dropped off. Gabriel, our top scorer. Come on now. Our top scorer, who's the center back, everybody.
Yeah,
I think that ended up being an own goal, but you know what I mean.
Right.
I mean, what did you think of our back line today? And big up everybody inside, by the way. Make sure you smash the like.
Everybody. I think it was slightly just above average to keep out a very, very bad Spurs attack. I think today, if it was anybody but Spurs, if it was City, Liverpool, maybe even Chelsea, I think that's a 2-2 draw today. But Spurs really are that bad. I looked at their lineup. Their keeper was like the 4th choice from Sparta Prague or some shit like that. I mean,
big up Carnage for the raid, by the way. Big up.
Dragison's really bad. That haircut's terrible. Yeah, I mean Archie Gray, who cares, right? I mean their whole Pedro Porro. Yeah, to be honest, I thought he was going to score in the last minute of that fucking game when it hit the post. Right, I was kind of shitting myself, but at the end of the day, their back line was pretty bad. And if anybody was clinical, they would have put 4 or 5 past them today, right?
Yep.
If we were, we were like sharing the ball. We were like taunting them at points where it's like, okay, he's open. Oh, he's open. Ah, ha, ha. And nobody shoots. And then they all of a sudden the defense is set and it's out of bounds for a corner or a goal kick, right? And no one seemed to care. That's what I wanted to get to the point today. It looked like, yeah, the 2-1 was great and everybody's cheering at the end of the match. I get it. But there were times in that match today I didn't feel like anyone really cared. That the levels dropped. We took our foot off the gas. It was probably midway through the second half. I felt for a good stretch of that game, we just took our foot off the gas and the urgency dropped. We were tinkering around the ball in their box a little bit, and I just don't know why someone just didn't take a swing at it. Deji. By the way, guys, we're trying to get Deji on for Friday. It looks like it's a 90% chance that's going to happen. So that's going to be a peak show on Friday.
We're gonna have Cindy Lauper FC himself joining us. I can't wait.
Hey,
No, and big up Carnage for the raid. Big up Carnage for the raid every single time. And look, and I'm hearing an echo, Dal, so I'm gonna mute you real quick.
Okay.
No, big up Will for the raid every single time. He's an absolute fraud. Real Madrid held a huge loss this past weekend, which made me extremely happy. Up Barca, that's all I'm going to say. I'm Barca now because all you Real Madrid fans are getting real annoying. I was really happy to see the humbling there. You guys are not as good as you think you are, but big up Will every time. Guys, make sure that you subscribe. If you're coming over from Will's channel, subscribe to the channel. We do have him on when I need a fraud, I call Will and I say, hey, Will, come on the show. Come on the show. There you go. Are you good now?
Better? Yeah,
that's better. It's all good, man. It's all good. And cool. look, at the end of the day, we're here to support each other. So smash the like, subscribe. I think I'm like 20 subs away from 1,500, which would be pretty dope to get to. So yeah, big up everybody. Yeah, and I agree. I think all Barca and all Real Madrid fans are annoying. You guys just got you guys are like the Arsenal Man United of social media and La Liga. You guys are both annoying. It's ridiculous. Anyway, yes, but big up everybody. Make sure you're smashing likes for you. I'll check my DMs here in a minute. But look, like I agree with you. The second half was dead. Look, the second half was absolutely dead. The changes that Spurs made, like they didn't make any they didn't have any midfield like holding midfielders in that second half. That's how I knew we were going to get it across the line because they lost control of the midfield at that point and they held it in only a handful of times. And they never really truly looked like scoring. After that, big up Connor every single time. What's up?
Yo.
They never looked like scoring in the second half, like seriously. And it was comfortable. Like, was I a little worried? Yeah, of course. But when you have that bum Pedro Porro spamming in shots and not giving them any sort of chance to get onto it, it was comfortable in the second half for me. But what do you think, Connor? What do you think, man?
I'm very happy because they actually turned up today.
Yeah, finally.
The enthusiasm, I wish we had that in the last 2 games. It just makes me laugh how we have to lose games for the boys to actually have enthusiasm.
Yes.
So listen, we needed this win. However, I'm not letting the happy factor make me change my ways about how I feel about the manager and still the attacking line. As much as we were the way better team today. However, I knew in the back of my head, I said, we're going to have all these shots, but they're going to score. They are.
Right.
Yeah. In the back of my head. Exactly. And they obviously done that. But listen, we were the better team today. We deserved to win the game. Tottenham came and played. I don't even know what they were playing. I mean, they were kind of playing a counter-attacking role, but we weren't giving them the opportunities to do that because we were constantly on the ball. But listen, you can't show the fact that today that we still need that striker because Havertz was a ghost. He was non-existent. He by far was the worst player on the pitch for me today. Him and Raheem Sterling combined. But at least Raheem Sterling actually got the ball a couple of times. I don't even know how many touches Havertz had, but it was barely anything.
We're playing with 10 men out here. He's absolutely embarrassing.
I
have something to talk about.
This striker needs to still come in. Like, I don't want today's win because it's North London derby to shadow the fact that we still have problems and that this manager still isn't good enough. But listen, at the end of the day, we've won the derby. We've done a double over them this season. And matter of the fact is, I want to give shout outs to Gabriel, man of the match. fucking, oh my God, unbelievable today. He's a captain. He looks like a captain. He comes across as a captain. Odegaard was very, very good today. He was the only one out of the midfield that obviously he is our main talisman in terms of creating. He was he was leading everything going
I think
forward.
more so in the first half than the second, but I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, he's been more quieter in the second half, but he actually gave a shit about pressing today. He wanted to press, and he did. He pressed pretty much the whole game, believe it or not, which he never really does. I wish he'd do this all game, but it's the whole momentum thing of on a derby, so. But listen, yeah, Odegaard, he was good, but Gabriel Odegaard was really good today. Partey was solid. Declan Rice, got involved. Shout out to Marsley with Skelly. He done his job today. Timber was so good on the ball. Going forward, he was a bit iffy, but he dealt with the left hand side extremely well. Obviously, a very big letdown for the fact that we had no one marking Son for the first goal. But listen, we won the game, so I'll let that slide. I'll let that slide. We did come back into the game extremely well.
Unlucky deflection off of Partey too.
Yeah, 100%. But listen, I've got to give shout outs to Trossard, man. He always turns up when we're in a rut. Listen, I know he's been recently not as more reliant as we want him to be, but when he's here, he's there, man. And he's so cold. Like, he doesn't even he knows himself he scored a sick goal, but he doesn't overreact. He's like, yeah, that's me. That's me. And people want to sell this guy. I don't want to sell him. If anything, I would be happy to keep him as a squad player for now. But that's matter to the fact I think he wants to leave himself, which is fair enough. But he was fantastic today. Overall, actually, I don't even have to name players. The whole team was good today, bar Sterling and Havertz. I think everyone else was pretty solid. I think, Raya made some decent saves when he had to. Listen, he got sent for the Son goal, so I can't really blame him for his positioning. I blame that more on the defence. Overall, really good performance. It's just a shame we couldn't do this against Man United or Newcastle. What is the difference? We had no Saka. We practically the same team. Why do we have to this guy, man? Why do we have to choose? Why do we choose when we want to perform in games? And I want to see this exact same momentum and this exact same way we play against Aston Villa. The exact same thing. I don't want any excuses of, but the players are tired, blah, blah, blah. If the players can do this performance against Spurs, and the Spurs are absolutely shit, don't get me wrong. But the momentum we had, I know we were at home. We're at home on Saturday as well. Don't get this twisted. I want the fans to be that loud on Saturday. I don't care if it's a derby. Be loud for Villa. That's our former manager. We don't want to lose against him. We want to be 3 points, catching up Liverpool. We've got to be consistent. However, I don't know if we will be. The front line is still extremely worrying. Sterling's fucking shit today. He was so bad. And shout outs to Jed Spence, because he's good, man. He's a solid player. Tottenham for me today, the only shout outs I can give, Bergvall, he tried his best. And I'd take him at Arsenal. I think he's a really good young midfielder coming through. I think he showed some talent. Him and Jed Spence, apart from that, the rest of them were absolutely shite.
Awful.
Fair play to Son for getting the goal. It was a deflected goal, but apart from that, Son was non-existent the whole game. He couldn't get any of the ball. We dominated possession. That Kinksky, I don't know if he thinks he's a midfielder or a goalkeeper, but brother, welcome to the Premier League.
He did not lack any confidence. I'll tell you that. He looked pretty good. That second goal, a little bit, but outside of that, he looked very confident, very strong.
Dribbling the ball out too. It was just, oh my God.
Yeah, I know. Well, if I was a Tottenham fan, if I hadn't already offed myself, that would make me very, very nervous to see him handling the ball outside.
And also, I want
Smart
Top
of
Gooners to remember this, right? Next time you blame officials, just remember this game. We wouldn't have got that goal if it wasn't for the officials. We shouldn't have had a corner, but we did. So if I ever hear Arsenal fans criticising referees or officials, I say, well, look back to the Tottenham game where we really shouldn't have had a goal, but we got a goal. We didn't even score it. It was actually an own goal. But just remember that. But we'll take it because I'm an Arsenal fan and that's the officials. You can't blame Arsenal. It's the officials. Right. Rival fans go for the officials on that one. But I want Top Gooners to remember that if they blame officials again, just look at this game tonight. Just saying.
Facts.
I'm not going to be too much of a negative nanny because it's the North London derby. After North London, it's always going to be red. I want these lot to shut the fuck up about it. It's ever going to be white. It never will be white. Do me a favor, man. Even if you win a game of football, come on, man. Let's not take the
80% of the Spurs fan base want Ange out anyway. So it's they have their own problems to worry about.
Even I mean, look at Ange. You see the Solanke tried the overhead kick at the end of the game. Ange was fucking.
Well, and Porro didn't even give. That was ridiculous. But Porro didn't even give him a shot on that crossing. That cross was shocking.
And also politely, welcome back, Richarlison. But fuck you.
This guy fucking sucks.
Richarlison is the shittest tackle. I swear to God, he can only rile people up. Yeah. Big up my man Lewis Skelly, man. Big up Lewis Skelly. Listen, expected arm waves FC. I don't like Odegaard doing it, but I'll let Lewis Skelly do it because he's a Haaland boy. And
Shithouser.
Yellow card for no reason. Richarlison shoving him off when he's about to leave the pitch to go off. Do me a favor, man.
Right, they wanted him to walk out the byline, though, right? They wanted him to go behind the goal.
Yeah, but he was literally about to walk, and then Richarlison's coming over and shoving him. He's talking to the referee, and I think, do you know what? Richarlison, you can't get a hold of the ball because you're shit. You can't get a ball. You can't get a shot on goal because you're shit. So you have to go ahead and start picking off players. Fuck you, mate. Honestly. So yeah, they deserve that. Fuck Spurs, and I'm glad that we walked out today with 3 points. Very good.
Yeah, and look, you're not going to see the three of us sitting here overgassing the performance. We're not. I mean, the boys played okay against one of the shittiest Tottenham Hotspur teams we've seen in 10 years. Like, these guys are fucking awful. They could barely beat the 18th place team in the National League. That is the 5th tier, people, this past weekend. Tamworth. I literally had Spurs fans coming into my WhatsApp asking where Tamworth was. Like, that's literally what. Like, they had no idea what this team even was, where they were located, whatever. So, like, if you're not going to get a result against those teams, how are you expect to get a result against us? And look, I wasn't feeling overly positive going into this game because I knew Spurs were going to be up for it. I could see why they wouldn't be up for a game against a National League team. So, you know, when we went down 1-0, I was like, you know, like, I think we can come back. I didn't think we were ever going to be out of it, but, you know, I'm just happy we kept our head up, like, because it's easy for us, especially lately, to let our heads drop and let the game get away from us. We calmed down. We actually went out there and got all 3 points, and it was a professional performance. Was the performance good? No, but we played well enough. Like, I'm not overgassing the performance. I'm with you, Dal. I'm still pissed off about United.
I kind of feel like, again, we played down to the opposition level.
Yeah.
Right? I feel like sometimes we play down to opposition level. But the thing is that I've also said, hey, if you want to open up your squad and, you know, attack us full on, come on for it. Because we're good on the counter, we're good defensively, but we just can't score. Like, I was getting so furious of the tiki-taka inside their box. I mean, it could have been 4-1, guys.
That's what I mean. And with better attackers, we would have.
If we didn't have that bum Havertz out there intercepting passes not meant for him in the box, there was a cross that was going right into, I don't remember who it was. I think it was going into Trossard, and he had it was going into Odegaard from the right. And he had the body position to strike the ball. Havertz got in the way and stopped it.
Yeah, he's
I'm like, what are you doing?
He's an idiot.
Zero awareness. Let it go, bro.
And I think the manager's starting to realize that he was a mistake. He's starting to realize.
Wasn't Havertz the one that got in front of Trossard against Chelsea at the very end?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. And it was going to make
people will praise him. Big up to Charlie from the Phil FC because he's very right. Havertz is your run-of-the-day purple patch player. He will turn up for a couple games and then disappear for another 20. You know, the quicker we get him replaced and put on the bench, because obviously I'm not going to sell him yet. The quicker we get him replaced on the bench will be a daylight savior. And listen, I don't want to rush back Saka, but we want to try push Liverpool. I don't think we will, but we want to try to do it because that's the whole point of what we've got to do now. We cannot do it with this bum on the right, Raheem Sterling. I swear to God.
Dude.
I swear to God.
Jed Spence put him in a coffin today.
I swear to God, I've never seen such a useless footballer since, I think, Willian, in terms of our attackers. Like, he is that bad. He wouldn't even take on Spence. He always had to pass it around. And when he did take on Spence, he had no idea what he was doing. Chalk and cheese between him and Saka. Like, I'm not trying to compare that Sterling was ever anywhere near Saka, but you can see the difference in where we play. Saka has all the confidence in the world and can actually get round fullbacks. Sterling offers nothing. He keeps falling over himself, tripping over himself, man. Like, he's really bad. So we need to start Martinelli on the right against Aston Villa, guys. I don't care if it's even. We can't have him playing, man. He offers nothing. He really doesn't. So yeah. But apart from that, you know, I want people to remember we can't let today cloud our judgment. You know, like Dal said, we can't forget United. We got knocked out the cup to a 10-man United. That's not going to be forgotten. I haven't forgotten that. So I'm not letting today forget that. I'm not forgetting the fact that we're practically out of the EFL Cup as well. You know, so we're not going to win the Champions League either. Let's keep it honest and real. So, you know, let's just focus on the league, eh? It's just what we want to do,
Connor and TJ, there's going to be people that if we you know, consistently stay behind Liverpool, let's say within 4 or 5, maybe 6 points, are going to say that it's still progress, right? They're going to say, oh, look at Big Mick. He's keeping up with Arnie and Liverpool. And that's the whole narrative now that we know we're going to hear if we continue on this way. I don't think we're going to win the league. And if we do, it would be like a bolt of lightning. And I think we'd only win it by 1 or 2 points. I still think City are going to push for second place. I think they're too out for first. They're too far for first. But I think second place is a real thing for them to challenge for, right? And I'm not leaving Newcastle out of the equation either. But the thing is, like you guys said, we just got to keep doing what we got to do with what we can do with injuries. Getting the ball out wide, getting crosses, across the face of goal. But this is the perfect game. I was yelling at the TV, just shoot the ball. Like TJ, you said it, Connor too. Outside the box, this keeper is awful. Like he will parry the ball somewhere. It'll bounce off. I mean, there was one shot I think Rice hit off his face and shoulder, went right back out. Right? I mean, Rice just nailed him, I think, square in the face with the shot.
I remember them.
At least he had the cojones to take that shot. If Odegaard would do that, God forbid, if Sterling would just try and loop one in top bins, far post from the right side. I mean, we've got to be creative, not only in just how we pass the ball and move with it technically, we got to be creative of how we're shooting at goal at times. If there's no angle, find one. If there's no open man, find one, right? But that doesn't always mean passing it back, right? Sometimes you got to force these things. And those extra touches, Odegaard, Havertz had, even Martinelli, I think, had a couple extra touches today. Take some of those out. Take a swipe at the ball. 3-1, 4-1. And I thought at the end it was going to be 2-2. I did. Every time they came down the pitch in the 87th minute and beyond, I was like, oh, fuck, here we go. Oh, shit, here we go, right? I mean, I was just waiting for that next ball to come in and us to make a mistake and Solanke to knock it in with his shoulder or glide off his head, right? 2-2. And that's why we have to be clinical in front of goal. It should have been 3 or 4-1. And it should have been fucking done.
I've got to shoot off, fellas. I just want to put you say my piece.
Big up, Connor, every single time, man. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming on, bro.
We move on. And everyone, keep an eye on TJ's banner. Maybe for tomorrow. There will be
the rebrand continues, people. The rebrand continues.
Anyway, listen, take care, fellas. We get the win, and let's move on. And good luck for Saturday, because that will be harder. Listen, I know they only won 1-0 today, but I'm not too sure, man, because I think Duran's got red carded, didn't he? So he'll be back for the weekend. So Watkins scored today, so he's on a bit of form. So let's not take them into a joke, but this forward line still worries me. The problems haven't changed. So big up to Don C, man. Chat's the truth. Big up to you, bro. But take care, fellas. Have a good rest of your evening. Take care, everyone.
Yeah, we'll see you later. And you can catch me and Don C on Flawless's channel and Tony Claude, of course, here in about 1 hour. I wanted to talk a little bit more about our attackers. Jed Spence absolutely locked up that fraud Raheem Sterling today. I know he's only going in there to do a job. He was the only one that looked like he had a pulse against Man United, but like we've seen enough to know that this guy needs to just get sent back to Chelsea, and he could take Kai Havertz with him, because Kai Havertz was also awful today. We are playing with 10 men with this guy on the pitch, man. I swear to God. We would get the ball into the final third, deep on the right side, and this guy offers no outlet, absolutely nothing. We get deep into the final third, and then we end up having to backtrack, pass it back to Odegaard or pass it back to Rice, because he offers nothing. Nothing. And if you're going to be a target man in the middle, how about you try making a run? How about you try running the channels? He does none of that.
Right.
And I'm just so over the people defending this guy and saying, "Oh, well, he'll come back." I don't even want to say he's a purple patch player, and here's why. He depends on everybody around him to get him his points and get him his involvement. Like, yeah, okay, paint yourself as a target number 9. That's fine. But put yourself in a position to actually do something. He was dog shit today. Dog shit. I just think if this is what passes for a striker or a number 9 in a Big Six club, we are the bottom of the Big Six in terms of what we offer in that position. I would take Solanke all fucking day over this bum, all day. Like I'm still pissed off that this guy's on the team. And if it wasn't for Trossard, we would have looked absolutely dead in the final third in that first half. Dead.
Completely. And I still think we were mostly dead. I mean, if it wasn't for a bit of Trossard genius, you're 100% right. It'd be 100% dead. Kai Havertz is a Bundesliga mid-table player. Stuttgart level, right? And we bought him based on a goal that he nicked in the Champions League.
This guy stinks. Match day, big up match day every time. This guy stinks. And you know what? Terrible. If I need to sit Hooks down and have another talk with him, I'll do that. You know, Hooks is an impressionable kid. We just need to get this guy on the right side. You know what I mean? He was Arteta in, I made him Arteta out. You know, he just needs a little bit of coaxing. You know what I mean? But big up Hooks every single time. Big up Match Day Guru every single time. I mean, also, 18 likes. Smash the likes up. Let's get to 20 likes before the end of the show. Sorry,
I thought Havertz was going to be a sub for Odegaard, right? That's kind of what the anticipation was. Now we have a sub for Odegaard. A lot of money. Who's actually doing, a lot of money for a sub. But that's football. I mean, there's a lot of money on substitute benches in the Prem, La Liga, Italy, etc. So it's just Arteta just doesn't know how to use these players, right? But then again, sometimes he does, right? It's really confusing, and that's what I was listening to Jez and Yeti streaming the game today and the watch along, and they both were saying like, what are we really doing? Like, what is the real goal? Like, especially in the second half, are we trying to score a goal or are we not? Are we defensive? And then we're not. Are we counterattacking, which it seemed like we are, but then there's no end product out of the counterattack because we just kind of lose the ball with Sterling falling over himself, with Havertz not being in the right place at the right time, with, I mean, even Trossard today, besides the goal, was kind of at times, even though he was the best of a bad bunch. It's just nothing's clinical. Like, nothing looks direct, right? Some of the passing looked okay. I don't know. It's paper over in cracks. I think AFC always said it in the chat with Yeti and Jez. It's just paper over in the cracks. However, I'm looking towards the January window, TJ. And
you mean the one that we're in?
Yeah.
You mean the one where we've signed Zubamendi and the deal is closed and it's not coming until summertime and the living's easy, bro. Like, we're not. And I told people this, and I will collect. I have receipts. I will collect when we bring in absolutely nobody. Guys, we have 17 days left in this transfer window, less than that, and we've brought in nobody.
Right.
We've been linked to Zubamendi, who, don't get me wrong, is a class footballer, class CDM. If we lose Partey, fine. Bring in Zubamendi. He is a good young player. I watched him during the Euros. I don't watch Real Sociedad. I will say that,
right.
but I rate what he did for Spain. He's a fantastic footballer, and he would be a great addition to this club. But what are we doing now? What are we doing now? What about now?
No, I think Arteta's already got his head turned till the summer. I think he's got. Well, I think we've spent the money. We spent the money in summer on Calamari and fucking Mikel Moreno model cousin, right? Who completely looks lost of whatever Arteta's trying to do.
Yeah, I don't. He played today. He played tonight. I didn't notice.
I barely noticed. He subbed in for Rice, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there was times I was kind of dozing off in that second half because there was just no killer instinct. There was no really going at them. The only time we went at it was when we scored the 2 goals towards the end of the first half because they scored. I mean, and that was what's funny is I was even sitting there with the misses and I saw that goal coming. Like, I just knew they were going to score first because we did all this build-up, right, in the final third that led to nothing. And it just took one ball, one outlet, bang, bang, bosh. Yeah, it's off Partey's leg, kind of lucky. But, I mean, it's the same thing we've seen over and over and over. And that's why I think this defense, it's fantastic at times, meaning Gabs and Saliba, I think at times they just look like the other one's going to do it for them, right? I don't know. You go. Cast-offs, yeah, sure. Right? And some of the indecision they had today, I think, showed a little bit, even though Gabriel was really good, right? It's really getting hard to tell because there really isn't, you see, like, there's still not a plan A, and there's certainly not a plan B. It's kind of, again, the hope strategy, right? Well, I'm going to throw Kai up there and hope that it does. And then when we can't work the ball on the floor, we start lobbing it up, right? Hoping Kai can get onto one. I mean, it's just, and I see effort there from this kid, but technically, talent-wise, it's not there.
Right.
It's not there. Yeah. He's not a Premier League footballer. He would be probably very, very good in the championship division, or like I said, a mid-level Bundesliga team, maybe, someone like Fiorentina in Italy, right? That sort of level where it's not bottom of the bins, but it sure as hell ain't top.
Right. No, he's a scrub.
We all, sorry to interrupt, but
go ahead. No, keep going.
Fan base, I think 80% of the fan base sees that, but we're so low on options that Mikel Arteta is forced to play him.
Yeah, no, fair. And Gunnar ER, I mean, it wasn't the best. I'll say that for sure. It wasn't the best. Arsenal played like they did in the first last 20 minutes and then settled first time. Yeah, I mean, we were pretty consistent. I thought we were more consistent than people are giving it credit for. Again, we're still dead in the final third, and that's going to be the biggest problem against Aston Villa. Like, we have to be more clinical in the final third, otherwise we're going to get beat. Like, and there's a lot of people in the chat saying that we're going to lose to Aston Villa. We play like that against Aston Villa, we will lose, but we'll see what happens.
I'm going to watch the highlights. I thought we really had them pinned in the first 15 minutes of that game, and I was really just waiting for the goal to come.
Oh, no, we were. I'm not discounting it, but it's not like I don't feel like we took our foot off the gas until like the 85th, 90th minute, and then we were literally just sitting back. Well, no, second half. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, no, I'll go with what you're saying there, because honestly, like, I understand why. I mean, we were bringing on all of our defenders. Like, we brought on Tierney for Trossard, for God's sakes. And by the way, Tierney, what a ball. He came in there and offered a great pass to Odegaard, and Odegaard had half the net open and fucking missed.
Missed it. Yeah.
Dude.
Right.
Like, this guy's confidence has to be through the floor, not on the floor, through it. Like, you just see the way that this guy's playing. And look, in the first half, I thought he was good. He was linking up play very well, but there was nobody like I said, there was nobody in the middle to finish it off. And then he gets a chance to finish it off, and he puts it into the camera guy right next to the net. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? You're supposed to be our captain. You're supposed to be burying these. Like, salt the fucking game away.
Right.
That's 3-1 right there with 10 minutes left.
Just trap the ball. That's what I would say too. A lot of the times I'm watching them pass and so forth. It's kind of like, we're letting balls roll through, right? To get that, that extra advantage on that one step ahead of the defender. But there's times it's like, just stop the ball, turn back, look at what's around you, and put it through. Either if you're on the left or the right. And that's where it's like, I'm yelling at him, like, you can't trap a ball. This guy can't trap a ball, number 29. It's just, and Odegaard with the step overs, it's like it's always one too many. And I agree 100% with what you said. That's 3-1 today if we don't dick around in their box. Did you see Trossard basically break Pedro Porro? That was fantastic. I thought he was done for the game. I was like, oh shit, he just broke, man. But
he literally looked like me after my hip replacement. Like, this guy he looked like he had fucking lost it, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it's just shit like that. I mean, I thought Trossard was good at today, but again, and then you watch the final entry after he does that, amounts to nothing.
Yeah,
and you're right. Against Aston Villa, we got to score that, but I don't know if they're even really that better than Tottenham defensive wise, to be honest. Maybe
defensively, they have that bum Digne in the back. Like, they have a couple of good defenders, but It's just that midfield, like Morgan Rogers. He can cut through. He can make moves. You know, you got
True.
Ollie Watkins is on good form right now.
Right.
I think they lost Jared Bowen to injury, and they still have West Ham did. Sorry, I'm talking about Aston Villa.
Same colors, different club.
Same colors. Sorry, dude, I'm out of it. I'm still freaking buzzing.
They lost Diaby, but they bought in Donnell Mullen, who was an Arsenal Academy kid.
Donnell Mullen though. Donnell Mullen he's not going to play yet. I don't even think he's going to be on the bench. Yeah, I don't think he didn't play today. He might be there, but he didn't play today.
I thought they got him like a few days ago and he'd be ready, but apparently not. No, It's going to be a different kind of challenge. But again, we pressed Tottenham so much in their final third today. I mean, that first 20 minutes was like I was just waiting for the goal, which is great to feel. But again, it's like you shouldn't have to wait that long. If we had a striker who just give the ball chested down,
right?
You know, get around that one. You just got to get around that one defender, right? You just got to get around that one defender and just put your strings with the shoestrings through it.
Yeah, I'm still not. Yeah, and by the way, big up Gunnar ER. I still don't want him to spend money. Like, I'm glad we're not buying anybody. Right. Don't bring anybody that isn't a club signing. Don't bring anybody. Like Zubamendi, if he comes in, great. He's a good footballer, but I don't want anybody who was talent ID'd by Mikel Arteta to come into the squad. Right. I don't want him spending any more of our money. None of it.
I think the Zubamendi deal, if everybody's saying that it's pretty much over the line, I think it's pretty much done. Unfortunately, it's not a striker or a position that we immediately need. But I mean, if Zubamendi keeps Moreno out, I'm happy for that. And I do think we probably sell Thomas Partey this summer. I think he's the replacement for Partey. And that's why nothing's done in January, because we don't want to get rid of Partey. He's actually in pretty decent form. They sure as hell don't want to get rid of their best central midfielder in midseason. So it makes sense. Right. And I would I'd take him too. But again, the urgency is a striker already. Now that is a problem.
I mean, fair. That's fair. That's a fair statement. I just think he's just a player that, like, no matter what manager he plays under, he's going to actually be able to do a job if there's a space for a holding midfielder. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
It's a lie, good or ER. I don't know.
Zubamendi is a lie. We'll see if it is. Like,
I'm not so sure.
I haven't seen the here we go, but I mean, everybody's acting like it's coming across the line. Big up Maderno. You can hold that, honestly, Dinero. You can hold that. But yeah, I'll be on Sarcasm City tonight, and I'll tell you to hold it again. You guys, I still hate Spurs. I hate the fans. You guys walking in there thinking that you guys had a prayer to beat us. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. Jog on. Hopefully you guys can beat, whatever third or fourth level team you run into in the FA Cup next. It is what it is. I wouldn't know what it's like to be in the FA Cup though, so I'll shut the fuck up. Isaac proved today what a clinical finisher can bring. Yeah, he is. He's a great finisher, but we didn't bring him in. We don't want the good players from Real Sociedad. We want the cast-offs. Yeah, that game wasn't great in the second half. Yeah, guys, get your final questions in. We're gonna probably wrap up here in the next 5-10. Yeah. No, these two were you guys. You mentioned our two worst players.
Right. Slipping, yeah, they were slipping. All right, looked like Bambi on ice, bro.
Dude,
I know the Raheem Sterling thing is nothing new. We've seen this in the international matches, the friendlies, the World Cups. Sterling gets the ball. He does his little thing, with his arms on the right wing. He gets done, and he waits too long. He gets double teamed. Then he passes it back, and then he gets it back again. And then he runs to the byline. He's like, "Oh, that's not going to work." And he cuts it back. I mean, it's just like his style of play has not changed in a decade, right? He was phenomenal at Liverpool when it was him, Sturridge, and Suarez, when it was the Triple S threat. Right. That was like ages ago. I mean, those three were phenomenal, I thought, up front. But my God, dude, God, what were we thinking? I think we were supposed to be surprised, right? That was the thing, is Edu, and then we're bigging it up like, oh, it's going to be we got a great surprise for you. We're not bringing in a proper player. At the last minute, we're bringing in this fucking donkey. It's just, yeah. I mean,
we
that's
knew
the best game we had was just United. He still didn't even do anything really.
That was the best stream we ever had. Now, by the way, was when we came on here and we're just like, "What the fuck are we doing with Raheem Sterling?"
Yeah,
That was that stream had incredible numbers. No, and look, Gooder ER, I agree. It was a horrible watch. But what do you expect? There were horrible lineups. Like we are our starting 11 is so mid, especially when you start to move up the pitch. Like it is so bad. Like what did anybody really expect? And then you have a Tottenham Hotspur team who it's a high line, mate. Like some of the decision making that you see Ange do in these matches is absolutely shocking. It's shocking. You take off Basuma at halftime, and he was one of your best fucking players in the first half. I didn't understand that at all.
Yeah.
I didn't understand that at all. And Bader, again, Bader, you can hold that, Bader. Any Spurs fan that comes into my chat can fucking hold smoke. We might have barely won today. I don't give a shit. Yeah, we might have barely won today. I don't care. I'm shameless. We got the win. We did the double over Spurs again. Second time in 2 years that we've done the double over Spurs. We have not lost against you guys since 2022. Oof. Hold.
And Harry Kane played that time.
Yep. No, I remember 3-0 at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I remember that. That was awful.
That was
awful.
Gruesome day. Yeah.
Gruesome day.
Was that's the season we started out really bad, right? And we lost.
That was the season where we choked top.
Yeah.
That was the season we choked top 4.
Yeah. So serious. No, I mean, Ange out. I mean, nothing's going to change at Tottenham until you get fucking Daniel Levy out of there. Let's be real. We've been saying that now for, oh God, how long has he been there? 25 years?
Yep.
23, 22, somewhere in there. I mean, we've been saying that now for a long time. Daniel Levy is the obstacle of Tottenham creating success. And they need a Saudi owner, just like we do.
We all need Saudi owners so they actually take it serious.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Because you're going to perform for that money and chop your hands off.
Okay, all right. And on that note.
No, yeah, on that note, I know you got to get going. I've got some work to do today. Thanks for having me on.
Of course.
By far, Havertz and Sterling were absolute god-awful dog shit. And we got them from the blue side of London, and they knew what they were doing, right, when they got rid of them. So, if Arteta's going to take the bait, he already did. I guess he already did take the bait and spend a shitload of money on 2 absolutely dog shit players. Useless as a wet turd in front of goal. But yeah, I will big up Trossard today, Rice, Gabriel, and Miles Lewis-Skelly. And I thought Timber was really good too. So overall, I guess my summarization should have been 3-4-1 because we dinked the ball too much around the box, didn't take any shots outside the box, but I will take a 2-1 at home against the fucking scum any day. Get in.
Yeah. No, I agree, man. Again, and I'll call this out again. Miles Lewis-Skelly, incredible. Gabrielle, incredible. Declan Rice and Thomas Partey looked absolutely solid today, and Trossard on the left just absolutely cooked. Well taken goal. Smooth as you like. So those were my players that really stuck out. Get Raheem Sterling, terminate the loan. Just get him out. And terminate Kai Havertz in general, bro.
Where's the academy kids? Right? I mean, I'm at the point now, I'd rather see a 19, 20-year-old academy kid who's got some legs, won't fall over the ball, won't put the ball 8 yards in front of him while on goal. Right? Let's get the academy kid in. Let's give this Sterling guy a fucking bus ticket back to West London or wherever the hell he's from. I think he's from QPR, to be honest. So send him back to Rangers.
I agree.
Good night, Hendo.
Yeah, big up Hendo. And yeah, we'll go ahead and cut it off there because we will be live on Friday with Dirty Deji domination in the location Spurs. If Deji comes on, Deji, I know you watch this channel. Deji, I'm telling you, I will sing Cyndi Lauper if you come on the show. I will sing it for you. I'll teach you how to do it. I'll teach you. But American Idiots live 9 p.m. What?
She bop or time after time.
Either one. Doesn't matter. You tell me.
Cindy Lauper. I'll hear some Madonna, TJ. I'm your material girl, mate.
All right, guys, we're going to reroute you over to Big Six Bands where Mons and those guys are breaking the game down. Again, I will be live with Flawless here in about 45 minutes, so we'll catch you over on Sarcasm City TV. Until next time, Arsenal win.
You don't have the answers, DJ.
Do you have the answer?
You don't have the answers.
Tony, do you have the answer?
You don't have the answers,
You don't have
DJ.
the answer either.
You don't